why Dutch bikes are better and why you should want one. I have no idea. I haven't rode a bike in, I don't know. I mean, it's been so long. At least 20 years. No, maybe a little bit less than 20 years. Yeah, maybe 15 or 17 years. That's for sure. That's for sure. So yeah, let's check out what makes them so special.
This is our Dutch bicycle. It's an oma fiets, literally
Oma-fiets.
grandma bicycle. There is really nothing special about it, at least here in the Netherlands. But in Canada, the US, or many other countries, this bike would be very unique indeed, and bicycles like this one really surprised me the first
It
time
doesn't even have a shifting gear.
I visited the Netherlands. There's a good reason for this uniqueness. In the Netherlands, bicycles are seen as a tool for everyday transportation, a way to get from point A to point B quickly and efficiently. In most other countries, bicycles are used primarily for sport and exercise. This one difference explains nearly everything special about a bike like this. Now, it's not like this is the only kind of bicycle you'll see in the Netherlands, of course. There are many others, including e-bikes, cargo bikes, hand cycles, and you'll definitely see road bikes used for sport too, especially on weekends. But for everyday urban transportation, this style of bicycle is by far the most common. So what makes this bicycle so different from what you might be used to? Well, the primary difference is that this is an upright bicycle. It's built to ride in an upright sitting position. This is an inefficient position that will not transmit maximum power into the crank during a pedal stroke, plus it's totally not aero. But who cares? What the upright position does provide is comfort. The handlebars on this bicycle are high up and swept back, making it extremely comfortable to ride. On this kind of bicycle, you almost...
I still do remember, what the hell, whenever I would ride the bike after a long time, my ass will hurt like crazy. Especially when you do the bike, in the stationary bike in the gym. Oh my god. If you're not used to it, you wake up, then you feel like you have, I don't know, your ass has shrink like from this to this. So yeah, I like this bike right now.
almost pull up and back on the handlebars rather than putting any weight on them. This is just a more comfortable way to sit on a bicycle, and the design is very similar to the original safety bicycle developed in the UK in the late 19th century. Sitting upright also makes it easier to see what's going on around you, which can be safer when cycling in busy urban environments with lots of other people around. Riding this way lets you wear any type of clothing you'd like because it's no different than sitting in a chair, which is why you see most people in the Netherlands dressed for the destination and not the ride. This bicycle has a step-through frame, meaning that you can get on and off it very easily without having to swing your leg around like you do on a bike like this, with a crossbar. These frames are fine and you'll definitely see them here, but I find them particularly annoying if you have a kid seat because if you swing your leg up to get on, you kick your kid in the head.
What the hell?
And I don't understand why we still call these men's bikes when it's the only kind you can hit your nuts on. Because step-through frames are more comfortable to use, they're increasingly popular for both men and women. This is another thing that contributes to people wearing normal clothes when cycling, and why you'll even see women wearing dresses and skirts. Speaking of skirts, this thing is called a skirt guard or coat guard, and it's quite common on Dutch bicycles. It prevents long articles of clothing from getting stuck in the spokes as you ride. It also helps prevent a child sitting on the back from getting their foot stuck.
That's pretty nice.
Another thing to protect your clothing is the chain guard, a plastic or metal cover over the bicycle chain. It also helps to protect the chain from the elements, making it last longer. This thing here is called a frame lock, and almost every bicycle in the Netherlands has one. These are incredibly convenient for so many reasons, but I've almost never seen them outside of the Netherlands, Denmark, and Japan. They are an easy way to lock the back wheel of your bicycle for quick stops, which makes it really, really easy to pop into a shop when riding somewhere.
That is so nice.
The frame lock also keeps your key inside as you ride. You can actually buy frame locks that don't do this, but I really like the key retaining feature.
I mean,
This is a small detail, but it ensures that your bike keys are always with you. That being said, I
Yeah,
have been
exactly.
known to accidentally hit the key with my leg and bend it like this. Oops. Also, while there's a lot of space for the locking mechanism in the wheel, I seem to hit the spoke far more often than you'd think. I should have gone into neutrino research. When this lock is engaged, you can't ride the bicycle, but you can, of course, just pick it up and walk away with it. So if you want to ensure that your bike is still there when you return, it's best to bring a chain lock with you as well, and most people do. If you see bikes locked only like this, it's probably because the owner considers their bike too crappy to steal. A slight variation on
I've
this
done
is a
that.
frame lock
I've
with a
done
chain
that.
lock integrated, giving you 2 locks with 1 key. Interestingly, U-locks, by far the most common locks in North America, are not seen very often in the Netherlands. Probably because it's difficult to get close enough to something to lock to with so many other bicycles around. Another feature you'll see on almost every bicycle in the Netherlands is both front and rear fenders. This makes sense in a country where it rains all the time. Fenders are not considered an optional add-on here. What's also included is a kickstand. Almost every bike comes with one. Over the fender, you'll usually find a rear rack, though some bikes have a rack on the front. Ultimately, these bicycles are meant to be useful, so having panniers at the back or a box on the front allows people to carry a surprisingly large amount of stuff. No SUV required.
Bro, that's crazy. You can even go buy
Rear racks in the Netherlands
do
are also
grocery
built strong enough to
shopping.
carry another person, which you see quite
What the
regularly.
hell?
But then everything on a Dutch bicycle is heavy
Wow.
duty. These aren't aluminium or carbon fiber frames, they're made of solid steel. These bikes are not built for speed, they're built to last. In general,
How long
Dutch
does
bicycles
one-
are built to be low maintenance.
How long does a Dutch bicycle? I mean, you're Dutch. If you're watching this video, you're Dutch. Come on. I don't think that someone from, let's say, the Philippines is watching this video right now. You're Dutch. Come on. So how long does one bike like this one, that is the most common one, will last you? Like maybe a couple of years, even longer. I don't know. Let me know. I mean, cars usually last around 5 to 6 years, I would say. So maybe it will be the same with the bikes.
So when a bicycle has gears, they're often internal hub gears like this one. In-hub gearing is great because they almost never need maintenance. This is very different from derailleurs, which I find are constantly going out of alignment.
Yeah.
Of course, many bicycles, including
Always
this one
that
of
the
ours,
one that
don't
you
have any
change.
gears at all.
So shitty.
You might also notice that this particular bike doesn't have any handbrakes either. A lot of bikes here do have handbrakes, but this one uses coaster brakes that you engage by cycling backwards. This was fascinating to me because in Canada, you will never see brakes like this except on children's bikes. They take some getting used to, but I really prefer cycling like this, as it feels so natural to pedal forward to speed up and pedal backwards to brake. By not having any handbrakes or gears, it keeps the bike simple and maintenance-free. It also avoids any cables that might accidentally get stuck on other bicycles when parking in tight places. All of this is done to keep the bicycle in good working condition, which is important when it's your primary mode of transportation. The only problem we've ever had with this bicycle is the occasional flat tire. And speaking of tires, did you know they use a different tire valve here? In the US and Canada, there are only ever 2 tire valves, Presta, found on road bikes, and Schrader, found on everything else. Here in the Netherlands, they use a Blitz valve. These valves have a little ball that prevents air from getting out. They're really easy to work with. In case you're curious, you can just use a regular Presta pump to fill these. Just pump it up to a high enough pressure and the valve will open automatically. Another thing you'll sometimes see on bicycles here is a dynamo. These go in the wheel hub or on the wheel and generate enough electricity to power LED lights.
Oh, that's so
These
cool.
are pretty nice, as you never need to worry about recharging batteries or forgetting your lights. Just another small thing that makes these bicycles simple for everyday use. And lastly, the bell on this bike makes a pleasant sound. Though you hardly ever need to use your bell here, so it doesn't really matter. When we were still living in Canada, we knew about upright Dutch-style bikes and tried for years to buy one, but they were almost impossible to find. This photo sums up the situation in Canada. A selection of bicycles supposedly for commuting, with nothing but sporty hybrids and road bikes. They don't even come with a rack, fenders, or kickstand. Maybe there are more bike shops with upright bicycles today, But when we lived in Toronto, there was only one shop that sold them, and the next closest was over 50 kilometers away.
Wow.
Here in Amsterdam, I can't swing a pair of clogs without hitting a dozen bicycle shops that sell functional, practical bicycles. Bicycles that are designed for transportation,
cheap with
not
all
sport.
those bikes.
One group, in Winnipeg, Canada, got so frustrated trying to find practical urban bicycles that they started importing new and used bicycles from the Netherlands. They call themselves the Plain Bicycle Project, and they're regularly receiving shipping containers full of bicycles from the Netherlands. So to my Dutch viewers, when you're finished with your bike, please consider donating it to needy families in Canada. It's so great to have bicycles that aren't for sport. Bicycles whose primary function is to be there when you need it, to carry your shopping or your friend, and to be used with as little effort as possible. No special gear or costume changes required. This is a point that's often overlooked because while it's obviously important to have safe streets and cycling infrastructure, it also makes a difference to have easy access to practical, low-maintenance bicycles like this one. Living in Amsterdam, I know that when I need to go somewhere, taking a bicycle will usually be the fastest and most convenient way to get there. But it's also important to know that I won't have any problems either, because of our old, clunky, rusty, beat-up, comfortable, reliable Omafeets. I'd like to thank my supporters on Patreon who pay me to talk about just bikes on Not Just Bikes. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to bonus videos, visit patreon.com/notjustbikes.
It was a really interesting video. Definitely need to be careful when you're traveling to the Netherlands with all these bikes if you're walking. Definitely need to be careful. This video was really interesting. I never gave it too much of a thought, you know. I mean, just now, of course, because I'm reacting to many stuff from the Netherlands to learn more about your culture, your history, and everything about your country. So yeah, I mean, that was really cool. That was actually very cool. When I would travel to the Netherlands, I definitely want to rent a bike and try and see how is this. Wait, I forgot the name. Omafeets, Omafeets or Omafiets? Omafeets. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, I would definitely want to try and have a ride on that one. So yeah, guys, I do hope you enjoyed this reaction video. This was stuff that you probably already knew, but it was very educational for me at least. So yeah, I'll see you in my next one.